This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Imagine life without your pet. Unthinkable, right? That's why taking care of their well-being is job number one. And PetSmart has everything you need to do anything for your pet. PetSmart's expertise in nutrition, training, veterinary care, and more can help you take care of your pet's well-being the same way your pet takes care of yours. Care the way pets do. Shop now at PetSmart.com.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2062. How long before I get abs? Wait for it, by Eric Leija of ericleija.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, your host. Welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. This is the podcast where I act as your very own personal narrator and read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online. And with that, let's get right to it and learn all about those abs as we optimize your life. How long before I get abs? Wait for it, by Eric Leija of ericleija.com. Thought to be one of the biggest accomplishments for those who are trying to lose weight is the coveted presence of visible abs. Most people recognize a flat stomach with defined abdominals as a universal sign of health and vitality. There are many things that come into play when it comes to getting a six-pack, and it's more complicated than just doing hundreds of crunches every day. There are a lot of things to consider: current body fat percentage, body type, diet, movement, and daily habits. But even though rock-hard abs may seem like a pipe dream, they're totally achievable when combined with the right mindset and ongoing lifestyle changes. Here, I'll discuss several things you can do to work towards getting the toned abdominals you're seeking. But just know that there is no magic method or quick fix for uncovering your abs. It takes hard work and patience, but it's so worth it in the end if it's the look you desire. So, without further ado, let's dive in. The science. Whatever you do, don't believe the hype that you can get six-pack abs in just a month, as this is pretty unrealistic for most people who don't already have pronounced abs. If that were the case, you wouldn't have come here looking for answers, right? You may start to notice your stomach getting tighter and be able to feel the muscles underneath beginning to harden in 30 days, but visible abs take more effort. One of the first challenges that you must tackle is body fat reduction. Your abs are in there, but they must be uncovered by reducing excess body fat first. That being said, if you work hard, you will lose weight all over, not just in your abdominal region. This can be done by way of diet and exercise in tandem, but it won't happen with exercise alone if you're not also willing to add other tools to your arsenal. A person can safely lose about 1 to 2% body fat each month. So, depending on where you're at now, it could take a few months or a few years before you start noticing your abs beginning to reveal themselves. If you're already in somewhat decent shape and don't have much excess body fat to lose, you may need to just continue whatever you're currently doing to maintain your physique. The gender gap. Gender does play a part in excess weight, as women are naturally meant to carry more body fat than men due to the fact that they are physically built for childbearing. For abs to start showing, a woman would need to keep her body fat percentage anywhere from about 14 to 19%. Going too far below this range long-term, though, may lead to issues like secondary amenorrhea, resulting from the stalling of estrogen production. Hormones come into play especially for women, as weight gain or weight loss tends to fluctuate throughout each month. The good news is, some of this is generally due to some water weight, and this tends to even itself out after the monthly cycle ends. Men, on the other hand, can drop even further below this body fat percentage range. We can go from 6 to 13% and still be riding in the safety zone, since men don't require as much body fat and tend to drop excess pounds faster. Bodybuilders and athletes may drop below 10% body fat while in training, which can look great for competition purposes, but is not advisable long term. Our bodies all have a threshold in which we perform better as humans when we do have some body fat. Food is fuel. You've probably heard the saying, abs are made in the kitchen, and this couldn't be more true. Training is important in order to get results, but all of it won't matter if your diet isn't in check. Cutting calories is part of the answer, but less calories alone won't do it if you're not cutting out the right kind. Many people find success in shedding weight faster by lowering their carb intake, or at the very least, making sure that their carbs are coming from mostly plants and not through processed junk. Sprouted grains can be a good choice if you're training extra hard and can tolerate them, as well as the darling of the carbohydrate crew, sweet potatoes. Also, lowering your intake of high sugar foods or replacing them with lower sugar fruits like berries is the way to go if you need a sweet fix. Raspberries are a good choice because they have a lot of fiber, are naturally low in sugar, and they are packed with vitamin C. You'll also want to make sure you're getting adequate amounts of protein in order to add lean muscle to your frame. It will help with satiety, and it is a slower burning fuel source when compared with carbohydrate, so you'll feel fuller longer. The body burns calories in excess while in the process of breaking down protein, so it plays an important role in fat loss. Protein sources can include grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, eggs, yogurt, and beans if they're well tolerated. Your protein should cover around 30% of your daily calorie intake if you're trying to lose weight and build lean muscle. But you can also divide your weight by 2.2 to get your body weight in kilograms, then multiply that number by 1.2 up to 2.0 to calculate total grams of protein needed each day. If you're going for the higher end, this amount would cover up to 30% of your daily calories. The importance of sleep. I can't emphasize enough the importance of quality sleep, especially if you're trying to shed body fat. Sleep affects so many of our body's daily functions, including metabolism and weight maintenance. In fact, research suggests that sleep might be the missing link for those who are having a difficult time losing weight. Getting less than 7 hours each night has been shown to increase the likelihood of obesity. And on the flip side, excess weight may encourage the development of sleep-related disorders like sleep apnea. Furthermore, adults are 55% more likely to become obese due to inadequate amounts of sleep, according to a Healthline article. So, if you want to work on building out those abs, make sure you get your sleep in check. Train like a beast. Last, but certainly not least, finding new ways to challenge your body will also work wonders in supporting your quest for the abs you've always wanted. Variation is key, so you need to keep your body guessing as much as possible. Using body weight resistance combined with regular strength training and primal movements will fire up your metabolism, increase mobility, and help you continue to torch calories even when you're at rest. You just listened to the post titled, "How Long Before I Get Abs?" Wait for it, by Eric Leija of ericleija.com. We all have someone who has genuinely impacted our lives for the better. And if you're a business owner, you need to hire the same type of person for your company. Now it's easy to find that perfect employee thanks to Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses worldwide to do it all. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. Over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job. I especially love Indeed's Instant Match feature because candidates you invite to apply through Instant Match are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search, according to US Indeed data. Indeed knows that finding people with the right skills makes all the difference when you're a hiring team of one. Visit Indeed.com/health to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/health. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Now, Eric mentioned the recommended amount of protein we should consume each day. Now, this may sound different than the formula yesterday's author Jessica shared earlier this week in episode 2061. But in reality, whichever formula you use, either way, you're going to be pretty close. All right, back to abs. Today's author also alluded to the importance of genetics when it comes to abs. He mentioned how men and women can differ with regards to how we burn calories and where we store fat. Now, I'm going to share with you an extreme example of this. I was once training a beginner, someone with very little structured exercise experience. Now, she identified as female and was wearing a shirt that let the lower part of her belly show. Now, to my surprise, for someone with a low level of activity, she did have a low body fat percentage. And what was even more amazing was her abs looked like they were carved out of granite. They were large and super defined, the kind that would make the guys from the movie 300 jealous. But even more surprisingly than that, when I had her perform even the most basic of ab moves to help her with her mobility, she struggled. Her genetic makeup likely contributed to these slabs of granite she was sporting, but she couldn't do a single crunch or sit-up. Now, most of us aren't so lucky. While we need some well-designed studies to know for sure, I found that in my experience, there's a trick to eventually developing these granite-like abs. As today's author Eric mentioned, variety is key. Next, yes, you need to pay attention to your diet. I've had success with patients who have cut their carbohydrate intake specifically down to about 50% of their total calories for the day. Then 25% of their calories come from fat, and the last 25% come from protein. Now here's another secret to make sure those abs pop. You have to commit enough time each week to your abs-specific moves. So yes, you have to change your diet and do that consistently, and you have to commit a certain amount of time each week to abs-specific moves. So again, in my experience, not through any formal research study, plan to spend about 45 minutes each week training just your abs. That could be split into 15 minutes 3 times per week, or 5 minutes 9 times each week. You get the idea. But the key is to spend those minutes carefully performing a variety of abs-specific exercises. These could be traditional sit-ups, glute ham sit-ups, Zercher squats, holding the plank position. There are lots and lots of possibilities. You just need to incorporate variety. Whenever you stop to rest, you have to stop the clock. Resting between sets or exercises doesn't count towards the 15 minutes. Oh, and like we've been discussing all week, consistency with everything, like your exercises, diet, rest, and so on, is key. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and I'll be back with our usual Sunday bonus episode in just a second, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.